Released in 2014 and directed by David Robert Mitchell, It Follows tells the story of Jay, a teenager whose life takes a terrifying turn after a seemingly ordinary romantic encounter. She discovers that she has inherited a supernatural curse. A mysterious entity relentlessly follows her, taking the appearance of different people. It moves slowly, but never stops, and if it catches her, the consequences are fatal. As Jay and her friends search for answers, they must confront an ever-present threat that can appear anywhere at any time. Played by Maika Monroe, Jay is a compelling horror protagonist because she feels like a real person rather than a genre stereotype. She's vulnerable, intelligent, and constantly forced to make impossible decisions. The supporting cast, including her loyal friends and sister, helps ground the story emotionally, creating a believable group dynamic that makes viewers genuinely care about their survival. The film's antagonist is one of the most original horror creations of the 21st century. The entity itself is terrifying precisely because it follows simple rules. It doesn't run, it doesn't taunt, and it doesn't need elaborate powers. It simply walks toward its victim endlessly. The unpredictability of its appearance, sometimes as a stranger, sometimes as someone familiar, creates a constant sense of dread. Few horror villains are as effective while remaining so minimalist. There is no way of convincing the creature to stop. It is determined to get the next victim in line. The screenplay is remarkably focused. Rather than relying on complex mythology or excessive exposition, the script reveals only what is necessary. This restraint allows the audience's imagination to fill in the blanks, often making the threat feel even more frightening. The story also explores themes of morality, mortality, anxiety, and the transition from adolescence to adulthood without becoming overly obvious or preachy. The dialogue feels natural and understated. Characters speak like real teenagers rather than exaggerated movie versions of them. Conversations are often quiet and conversational, helping to establish authenticity. This grounded approach makes the supernatural elements feel more unsettling because they invade an otherwise realistic world. Maika Monroe delivers an excellent lead performance, carrying much of the film's emotional weight. She effectively conveys fear, confusion, and determination without resorting to melodrama. The supporting cast is equally strong, creating believable friendships and relationships that add emotional investment to the story. The performances collectively elevate the material and help maintain the film's realism. The horror in It Follows is built almost entirely on tension and anticipation, rather than jump scares. The movie constantly encourages viewers to scan the background, wondering whether a distant figure is simply a passerby or the approaching entity. This creates a unique viewing experience where every frame feels dangerous. The concept itself is deeply unsettling because the threat is persistent, unavoidable, and always moving closer. It Follows has a haunting electronic soundtrack that instantly became iconic among horror fans. So what's our final verdict? It Follows is a masterclass in atmospheric horror. With its memorable protagonist, brilliantly simple antagonist, intelligent screenplay, strong performances, exceptional soundtrack, and relentless sense of dread, it stands as one of the most influential horror films of the 2000s. Rather than relying on cheap scares, it builds tension through mood, suspense, and imagination. Unfortunately, some of the decisions of characters may make the audience wonder. There is also a bit of suspension of disbelief regarding the film. A school administrator just hands out the personal information of a former student with no explanation. The adults in the film fail to make any impact, leaving the teenagers entirely alone to deal with the entity. That being said, it won't prevent you from enjoying this film. If you're a fan of psychological horror, slow-burn suspense, and original storytelling, It Follows is absolutely worth watching. It's the kind of film that lingers in your mind long after the credits roll. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more movie reviews, recommendations, and deep dives into the world of cinema.